Hey everyone, and welcome to the virtual tour of Sana Commerce. In this video tutorial I will tell you about scheduled tasks that provide the ability to schedule the launch of different processes at a predefined time or after specified time intervals. To access scheduled tasks in Sana Admin, click Tools and then Scheduled Tasks. Scheduled tasks are used to execute different processes at the background at a predefined time or after specified time intervals. Before I will tell you about different scheduled tasks and their functions, I would like to tell you a few words about some important things that you should know. By default, scheduled tasks are installed and executed within the Sana Commerce web application, but it is also possible to execute scheduled tasks in a separate Windows service process. In this case, you will need to install the Sana Commerce Task Service that is available in the Sana Commerce Release package. It is also possible to execute scheduled tasks on a separate server. This can be done in order to increase performance by distributing the workload across multiple servers. And now let's talk in brief about different scheduled tasks available in Sana Commerce. So, here you can see all scheduled tasks, their status and last result, the last and the next runtime. Here you can configure each scheduled task, run any scheduled task manually if needed, view the last log file of a scheduled task. For example, if the task has failed, the last log file can be used to see the reason of task failure. You can also see the history of all tasks. And now about each scheduled task individually. So, the first one is product import. This task is used to retrieve product information from the ERP system to build or update the web store index. The web store search functionality, product sets configuration, depends on what product information is indexed. When Sana Commerce has been installed and connected to the ERP system, you need to configure the index fields and run the product import task to be able to manage your web store catalog. You can either update product information that has been modified or completely rebuild the index. When you click Start without choosing the alternative task, the index will be updated, as this action is set by default. By configuring a product import task, you can enable automatic running of the task according to the configured time interval or fixed time, or you can disable this option to allow only manual start of the task. Here you can also enter the amount of products that should be handled in one batch, maximum interval between retries when some products cannot be indexed for some reason, maximum amount of retries, and maximum amount of products that can be skipped before the task will fail. The next task is customer import. It works just in the same way as product import, but unlike product import, the customer import task is used to retrieve the list of all customers, contacts, and sales agents from the ERP system you are connected to. When the list of customers is indexed, they become available for managing the shop accounts in Sana Admin. You can either update customer information that has been modified or completely rebuild the index. By configuring a customer import task, you can enable automatic running of the task according to the configured time interval or fixed time, or you can disable this option to allow only manual start of the task. Here you can also enter the amount of customers that should be handled in one batch, maximum interval between retries when some customers cannot be indexed for some reason, maximum amount of retries, and maximum amount of customers that can be skipped before the task will fail. Let's go further, and the next task is General Information Import. Sana Commerce allows to accept orders in the web store even when there is no connection to your ERP system. This allows to continue business operations without interruption. So, this task is used to synchronize data with your ERP system, to be able to run the web store in the so-called maintenance mode, when connection to ERP is not available. If data is not synchronized with your ERP system, the web store will not be able to switch to the maintenance mode. This task synchronizes products, customers, currencies, countries, units of measure, external shipping methods. When data is synchronized, it is stored in the SQL database. For this task, you can only configure when it should run. The next task is product image import. This task is needed to link product images on the web server to the related products based on the item numbers to be shown in the catalog. It is also used to automatically resize product images to small, medium, and large. By configuring a product image import task, you can enable automatic running of the task according to the configured time interval or fixed time, or you can disable this option to allow only manual start of the task. Here you can also enter the amount of product images that should be handled in one batch. In the separator field, you should enter the character that is used to separate product image information in the product image file name. For example, to separate item number and product variant code. And now let's talk about the sitemap export task. This task is used to inform search engines about web store URLs that are available for indexing. Sitemap is the XML file that contains web store URLs with additional metadata about each URL, when it was last updated, how often it changes, and how important it is in relation to other web store URLs. All Sana Commerce web pages are available for indexing, and language-specific URLs are also added to the sitemap file. By configuring a sitemap export task, you can enable automatic running of the task according to the configured time interval or fixed time, or you can disable this option to allow only manual start of the task. Here you can enter the number of links which should be stored in the sitemap file. This option is used to compress the sitemap files. In the Providers section, you can allow for bit indexing of different web pages. Enter the quantity of items that should be handled in one batch per page type. Enter the priority of the URL in relation to other URLs in the web store. This allows to specify which pages are more important. And you can also determine how frequently different pages may change. So, the next task is ERP connection status check. Remember, a few minutes ago I have told you about the general information import task that is used to synchronize data with your ERP system in order to be able to place the orders in the web store in the so-called maintenance mode when connection to the ERP system is not available. Well, the ERP connection status check task is used to check connection availability to the ERP system. This task checks the connection, and if it is not available, it automatically switches the web store to the maintenance mode, and when connection is re-established, this task switches the web store back to online. For this task you can only configure when it should run. As you can see, the next task is a system task. System Task Scheduler is used to periodically send a request to Sana admin to keep the connection between scheduled tasks and Sana admin. For this task you can only configure when it should run. If scheduled tasks are executed in the Windows service process, this task is not needed and can be simply disabled. And the last task is Authorized.net bank account confirmation. This task is needed only if you are using the Authorized.net payment provider. It checks the status of the orders which are transferred through the Authorized.net eCheck.net service, and only through the live account. The reason of this is that Authorized.net does not save the test orders, so their status cannot be checked. For this task you can only configure when it should run. Well, that is in brief about all scheduled tasks. Visit the Sana Help website for more detailed information about scheduled tasks. That's it for this demo. Thank you for watching. Sana takes care of your online business.